Welcome to Cozy Room Podcast. My mommy Shan.
Hey!
My sister Ari.
Say hi, Ari.
Hey. And I'm Anya.
Let's go! Hey, this is Shan, mom of the girls. Thank you for checking in. If this is your first time at Cozy Room Podcast, welcome. It's a very random but frequently posted show. Enjoy what you can when you can. It's for new parents. Y'all are very welcome. It's for second, third, or more time around parents too. And I did not forget those of you who aren't quite there yet, haven't had your first kid, but you're thinking about it and you're just curious on what it takes to go ahead and survive the kids that you may make. Cool. Since we're all here, let's get into today's episode. A lot of people may say, make sure you have this over your dog, or make sure you put your dog on a leash. There's kids around here, or, oh my God, there's a dog and everything is focused on protecting the kids. But what about protecting the dog owner and the dog? Because I'm a mom and I have 2 young kids that love animals. And I'm not just talking about dogs. It could be cats, it could be rabbits, it could be birds. They see an animal and they want to go up to it. My thing is, do not touch the animal unless they say it's okay. They could be the owner, the bird wanting to be bothered, the dog wanting to be bothered, the cat wanting to be bothered. I think it should be the other way around, because children are very aggressive. That cartoon on Looney Tunes where that girl is always like manhandling the dog. Like, when I think about kids and animals, young kids that really don't know how to balance their aggressiveness with animals, I'm always scared for the animals. And as a mom, I'm always scared for the animal more so than I'm scared for my kids with the animal. I think kids need to be talked to before they're around animals, or before they're in a situation where animals are going to be there. Because seeing an animal, if that child does not have an animal around, it's a lot of adrenaline that's going through that child. It's a lot of thoughts that's going through that child. It's a lot of, I want to touch it, I want to touch it, I want to touch it, going through that child's head. And if you've never had that discussion with your child is going to run up to that animal. Or your child's going to be highly terrified. There's not going to be no in between. And, all animals are different. A lot of people assume dog owners need to ask the parents of kids if they can allow them to touch the animal. But my experience is kids are going to run up to that animal if they're not talked to. And these are just some of the things that I tell my kids just to prepare them for the animal. One of my daughters, her dad has a dog at his house, so she's not like brand new to being around dogs. But when it comes to like cats or rabbits or birds or gerbils or whatever it is, I try to take them to the pet store so they can be familiar with different animals and reptiles, so they can just know that you just don't touch everything. You just don't go grab it because it's furry. You just don't go grab it because it's cute. You have to take your time and not rush certain things. When you see an animal, try to pet them on the back or the shoulder or rub their stomach. Don't just run up to them real quick. Don't taunt the animal. Be calm. Do not scream. Letting the animal sniff you is not going to hurt you. It's kind of like how animals, shake hands, okay? They're not human, so they can't reach out and touch you with a hand that you're familiar with. It might be a paw. It might be them putting their wet nose on you. And you have to be nice. Don't scream. Don't run up on them. You wouldn't want anybody running up on you. You got to be nice. Don't get in their face. First thing you want to do is ask the dog owner first if it's okay for you to touch the animal, or the cat owner, or the one that owns the rabbit or the bird. Ask your mom and dad second if it's okay if you go ahead and touch the animal. Second thing, do not run up on a cat, do not run up on a dog, do not run up on a rabbit, and do not run up on a reptile. If you see any dog loose outside, or cat outside that's loose, or snake or alligator, or anything with legs and feet that you're not familiar with, go find your parent. Go somewhere where you can shut a door or be behind something where that animal can't get you, because it's just not safe to assume that an animal is going to be nice if you see an animal. And when it comes to dogs per se, let the dog come toward the kid a little bit. Let them smell them. Don't run up all the way to the animal first. Let the kid hold out the back of their hand toward the dog in a non-threatening way. Or if it's a puppy, I would say palm up so they can go ahead and sniff. Puppies like to lick. And it's, sometimes you'll feel like their little teeth, they're not biting you. They're just really trying to get to know who you are, what you are, what do you want to do type thing. If your kid is not completely sure if they want to touch an animal, don't force them to touch an animal. A lot of kids do not like animals. I had an ex once that hated anything on four legs. Anything. Insects, animals, birds, anything. He hated it. And I really had to question if we were ever going to have a solid future together, because one, I would definitely want to have kids. Two, I would definitely want to let them have an animal. And three, we would definitely have to go to the zoo or safari or something, and he would not be coming. So not everybody is an animal person. And if you are terrified of animals, I would hope that you would avoid parks that have animals that may come. I hope that you would avoid public spaces where animals may be there. And the sixth thing I would do is tell your kid no squeezing or choking an animal. Okay? Dogs don't like that. Cats don't like that. Birds don't like that. I would never allow my child to touch a snake. I would never let them hold a snake. Lizard, maybe. Bird, sure. A gerbil, yes, because I had gerbils. I had rabbits. My mom grew up with chickens and goats in Jamaica. Birds. The only thing that we couldn't have in our house for a pet was snakes. Nobody wanted a snake, but my mom just wasn't with it. But we had everything else. 7, let the dog sniff you, and do not allow the dog to jump on you, okay? Dogs, cats, whatever the animal is, has to learn boundaries. Number 8, do not block an animal in. Do not corner a cat. Do not corner a bird. Do not corner a dog, especially if you don't know that dog. Do not throw things at animals, okay? That is not nice. And if your child is not mature enough to be around an animal with you, your child is not mature enough to be around an animal at all. And if your child does not listen to the owner of that animal, you need to do whatever you need to do to remove that child, because the last thing you want is an incident to happen to where that dog feels that dog or that cat or whatever the animal is feels like it needs to defend itself, and your child gets hurt, okay? But when it comes to animals, please, parents, have the conversation with your kids about not touching the animal unless the owner says it's okay and unless you say it's okay. All right? Bye. Bye.
Bye.